Flossing's fishing too. No, not kind of, but I do that, you know, sometimes for salmon you gotta do some flossing, whatever, and bring on the hate. I don't care. Alright, Mo Fishies, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and any of you that are new and this is your first time joining us, welcome. I appreciate you checking out my channel. My name's Jason. I go by Veteran Angler. Even though the channel is now called Veteran Outdoors, I'm still going to keep the Veteran Angler for, you know, when I comment, my @handle. For my OG Mo Fishies, sorry, it's been a week since I posted. I just needed, during this channel rebrand, like I called it, the soft rebrand and rename, I just took a week off. Not from fishing, really, from editing. Holy cow, you guys can't imagine, unless you've edited videos, doing 3 long format videos a week between filming, editing, uploading, you know, and you're not just throwing it up on YouTube. There's a whole uploading process, doing the title, description, thumbnail, all that. I just needed a little break. So I took a week off, and now we're back. And we're back, and I wanted to start with what I've been alluding to in a few of my last videos, and as you saw in the thumbnail, and I needed put a lot of thought into how I'm going to approach this, because fly fishermen can get very, very protective and just vile, and I expect some of that in the comments and whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm even doing, okay? So yeah, I don't fly fish. I'm American Nymph. Why do I American Nymph? Because I'm not in Czechoslovakia, I'm not in Poland, I'm not in French. I'm not in French, I am an idiot though. I'm not in France. You know, so you got your French nymph, your nymphing, your Czech nymphing, your Polish nymphing, Euro nymphing is what they call it, because it started in Europe, right? Well, I'm an American in America, and I'm doing it, so it's American nymphing. Or tightline nymphing. However, you know what? I'm going to call it fly fishing, nymphing, Euro nymphing, tightline nymphing. I'm going to, you know, interchangeably use that word, but I am not fly fishing. Fine. That's fine. I'm not out here doing the old, you know, dry fly fishing. I just use fly fishing gear to catch way more fish than most fly fishermen. What is nymphing? Why is it nymphing? You're using weight. You're not fishing on top with dry flies, you're using weight and going down and meeting the fish where they are 80 to 90% of the time, down near the bottom of the river. So every fly I tie has a tungsten and or lead bead in it, or these nuke eggs, glow bugs they call them, whatever. Egg patterns that I tie, I weight them down and I send those puppies right to the bottom and I bounce them in their face. You know what, people are even going to call it chuck and duck, flossing's fishing too. No, not kind of, but I do that, you know, sometimes for salmon you got to do some flossing, whatever, and bring on the hate. I don't care, as long as you're getting them in the mouth, you're legally hooking them, right? Yeah. So anyways, we're gonna get out. We're in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. We're out here on my favorite spot in all of Michigan, I think. Top 2 favorite spots, other than Home Lake #1, you know. And I don't know if the salmon are in yet or not. I'm not a prolific salmon fisherman. I am, however, I consider myself, well, honestly, what I'm trying to do always, I'm chasing a 27-inch brown trout. I really want to catch, I don't know why, 27 inches is, I've caught well over 20. However, I'm going after a 27-inch or bigger brown trout, and honestly, especially in the springtime, mass amounts of steelhead are a byproduct of me chasing that 27-inch brown trout. So salmon fishing, yeah, I'd like to catch salmon. I really want some eggs, I want to smoke some meat, but I'm more of a brown trout guy that happens to catch a ton of steelhead and some salmon. That's where I characterize myself. Salmon fishing, I don't even have, this is a 7-weight fly rod. Definitely not for salmon. It's what I use though, and I catch salmon on it. Salmon fishing and catching, the numbers are usually a lot lower than steelhead or even brown trout in the spring when I'm really targeting brown trout. But so yeah, today, Mo Fishies, We're gonna get after some salmon. Hopefully they're in here. We can get some kings. Steelhead, a little early for steelhead. As you can see, the trees aren't really even changing yet. It's still pretty green out. Blabbing on here, but it's been a week since I filmed the video, posted anything. First time in 4 months that I've taken a week off. Every week for the last 4 months, 3 or more videos. So just took a little break, mo fishes, but I'm back and we're getting ready to go on the camper build. I still haven't even started that yet. I'm telling you, it was raining and cold almost all this last week since I posted my last video to now. So I just chilled. And now we're after it again. So, real quick, also with the channel change, Veteran Outdoors, there's gonna be hunting. That means there's gonna be guns. So we're up here in the North Country, in the UP. We're definitely in bear country, and now we're in cougar or mountain lion country. So I definitely carry when I'm up here. I carry all the time. Every time y'all see me, I'm carrying. All right, so I'm gonna show you. When I come up here to the North Country, I always carry my Smith & Wesson M&P shield in 45 auto. Always. Don't carry 9mm. Whatever, I got an extender on there. I carry Underwood ammo, 230 grain, hollow point, plus P. But when I'm up here in the UP, in bear country, 255 grain hard cast, plus P, bear loads, I call them. Mountain lion load, whatever you want to call it. So I'm switching over magazines. Don't forget, change one end of pipe. You want to get that hollow point out of there. Not going to be good for bear, penetrating all that fat and meat, while it's munching on your face. And you're trying to shoot through the sternum. You want that hard cast bullet. So don't skimp. I tell you to skimp in a lot of places. Don't skimp on your fishing line and don't skimp on your bear ammo. All right. All right, so I'm just gonna finish rigging up here. Man, I haven't fished since this spring. I haven't touched my fly stuff. I'm just trying to figure out what's real. And I'm gonna cover the whole American nymphing, Euro nymphing, Czech nymphing, tight line nymphing, whichever form you wanna call it. It's all the same, pretty much. And I'm gonna cover how I do it, what I have. I'll bust out all my reels, everything in another video. Today, I just wanna get out here and try and catch a fish. So that's the plan. So anyways, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. Stick around. Like I always say, we're just getting started, mo fishies. So the premise behind nymphing is fly line sucks. And fish are on the bottom. That's the two things. So essentially what you're using, like 20, 30 foot mono leader. The fly line on my rod, I don't use that for fly fishing at all. That's just the backing for my mono leader. All I'm fishing is mono leader, because when I have it out there and I have my nymphs down on bottom and I'm leading them through a hole, if you have fly line, the weight of the fly line sagging is going to be pulling your nymphs across towards you as they're going down, and that's not natural. So using a mono leader, super light, it allows the nymphs or your flies to stay in the seam of water that they're in straight and true or longer, because most eggs don't swim. So fish realize when the egg's coming across the seam of water, it's not natural, and they're way less likely to bite it. So that's the purpose there of using the mono. Just lighter, it sinks, you get it down in their face where they're at in the river. And it's so effective. I honestly, I'm not bragging, and I was part of a veteran fly fishing group, Project Healing Waters, and they'd take us around fishing. I mean, it's an amazing group. They outfitted us with fly rods, waders, boots, kit, gear, raincoat. I mean, everything they gave to us. The division I was in, in Virginia at the time. And we would go around fishing, and I just got into this Euro nymphing, American nymphing, and right away, like, we'd go to these awesome fishing locations. We'd get private acts, all sorts of stuff. And we'd meet up at lunch, and everybody would have a guide, and they didn't give me one because I was always, that's all I was doing was fishing, and they knew that. But anyways, we'd meet up at lunch, and guys would be like, yeah, I caught 3, I caught 7, whatever. And I'm not even kidding you. By lunchtime, I'd be like 30, 40, 50 fish. And then by the end of the day, they're like, yeah, I caught 10 or whatever. And I'm like, man, I caught like 78. Like, cause I'd keep count. I really, honestly, numbers guy, I want to know. I don't know. It mattered to me. Keeping score, whatever. But finally they talked to me, and they're like, you know, every time we did these things, all these guys wanted to know what I was doing because they would watch me. I would just hammer fish and they wouldn't get anything. They wanted to know what I'd do, so I'd put on like a little clinic at the end of each of these meetups. And finally, the powers that be talked to me. They're like, you gotta stop talking about that and telling people how many fish you're catching. Because they were teaching traditional fly fishing. That was their thing, and that's fine. They did not like this newfangled leader fishing, as they called it. Not a really long leader fishing. They didn't even know what it was. And I was out fishing all the guides. And actually here in northern Michigan, I've taken guides out and showed them how to do this because I made a name for myself, especially in the springtime steelhead fishing. People knew that I was catching fish. And yeah, I had guides get a hold of me. I took guides out to teach them this. I wish I hadn't, honestly. But I was like, yeah, whatever, sweet. I got guides asking me how to do this. So that's just a quick background, quick dive into American nymphing. And yeah, I'm gonna finish this. We're gonna get out on the river, try to get into some salmon. I need some skein. I really wanna, you know, I don't do a lot of like, well, at all really, skein fishing or egg sac fishing. With one thing I would love to do is center pin fish, and I've never done that ever. That, and even just floating skein under a bobber with like a dirty spinning rod and reel. I haven't really ever done that a bunch. Oh, you just tie on a glow bug. In the fly fishing world, ridiculous. And then you throw, I go 6 inches above, or about a fist, maybe a little longer than the fist. 6-8 inches. Start slapping on some split shot. Round ball split shot, I prefer. You got it, like I said, I'm not fly fishing. Fine. Hate me in the comments if you want. This isn't real fly fishing, no. I just use fly fishing gear to catch more fish. I'm not using a sighter, a strike indicator, anything like that. I'm just tight lining it. I'm just feeling, go down, you can feel them bite it, obviously. But tight lining is a little different than, I'll probably throw a strike indicator on, AKA bobber. You throw that on, and then you can throw it out further, and it'll still drift naturally in that seam that's further out, rather than you holding it and dragging it across the water seams. And obviously, inside my waders, I don't carry my gun concealed in my pants. I carry it in my chest pack. Quick, easy access. Pro tip number 98, dude wipes. Take them with you. Never fails when you're out in the middle of a river wearing waders. You're gonna have to go. All right, can I finally get ready, please? Telling you, it's one of my favorite spots in all of Michigan. All right, here we go, mo fishies. First river, first hole, first salmon fishing trip of 2025 season. American nymphing. Always start close to you and work your way out. You just never know. Hook sets are free. Hook set on anything that feels like a fish. been stinking 30, high 30s at night, 50s, maybe 60s during the day, and a ton of rain. And today it's in the low 70s and I'm back in t-shirt. Ridiculous. Bipolar northern Michigan for you. American Nymphing. Well, same. It's gonna, you know, you got all that weight, it's gonna snag on bottom a ton. You're gonna lose a ton of flies. But you're getting it down there in their face and they eat it. And you'll get good enough where you know the difference between bumping bottom and a bite. The more you do it, like anything else. And honestly, even when it comes to nymphing, tight line, Euro, French, Polish, Czech, whatever, I'm sure I'm doing it wrong. Nymphing wrong. I don't care. I catch a lot of fish. That's all that matters. I don't care if this is bass fishing, like if you're the bass fishing reel doing that. What? It doesn't matter. The whole point is to catch, maximize your fun and the amount of fish you catch, right? Well, I catch a lot of fish doing this, right or wrong. I don't care what anybody else thinks about my technique. The whole thing with nymphing, with American nymphing, is staying tight to your weight, to your sinkers. Stay tight to them so you can feel a hit on your fly, your glow bug. Get tight to it and then lower it down. Tight, lower, and then slowly lead it. Don't drag it, just lead it. You're gonna snag the bottom a ton. And that's okay. That means you're getting it down. So I'm lowering it down until I feel bottom, and then I gently raise it off the bottom. And I can lower my rod tip, or I can raise it or lower it as much as I need to adjust it as I feel as those split shot ticking along the bottom, dragging my egg behind. That's what you want. Get down to the bottom, get it moving slower than the surface water, and you know you're down in their strike zone. And then slowly raise it up and lower it as you figure out what the bottom's doing in front of you, where you're fishing. And then at the end of your run, you can bow to it and let out some line. Always have it locked in your trigger finger, I call it, so you can hook set when you have one hit. Feel something weird, something different, it stops, it hesitates, hook set. And then you can use the hook set as your back cast just to recast if it wasn't a fish. I'm gonna feel a tick in there, so I raise it up a little. Now I know it's a little deeper here, so I'm gonna lower it down. And now all the bubbles are moving past my line, and there was something weird there, so I gave it a little hook set to see. But you want the bubbles in the water, the surface water, going faster than your line. That means your fly is down there in the bottom, or your egg. I don't even want to call it a fly, piss anybody off. Your glow bug is down, all the way down in the bottom, in the strike zone, and it's going slower and it's dragging, and that surface water is going faster. That's where they are. They're down in there where they have to use as little amount of effort as possible. They can hide behind a rock this big that the current breaks, and they can just sit behind it and barely paddle their tail and save energy and wait for an egg or a bug to come past, and they just dart out, grab it, and go right behind that rock. They don't hang out up here near the top where it's moving fast. They're down on bottom where the water is moving a lot slower because of resistance from rocks and everything on the bottom, and that's where we want our fly. That's why we use weight. Like I said earlier, it's still early up here. I mean, the deciduous trees aren't even changing colors yet. I mean, they're just starting to, which it's early run. Not that they won't be in here, it's just early. Now, normally you want to start at the back of a pool and work your way up. I was just coming in here to this prime spot, hopefully get one on for you more fishies, but I'm gonna move down and work my way back up to this pool. I'm gonna work my way up this hole, start close, go further out as I'm working up. That's with any fly fishing or Euro nymphing, American nymphing, any kind of fishing. Always start closer to you and work your way out as you work your way up. You want to try and pull fish out the back door of the hole and not disturb everything that's up in the hole. So this particular egg pattern. It's called the nuke egg. I tie these. #1 fly that I've caught by far the most fish on. Springtime, fall, even in the summer. Everybody wants to eat an egg. Everybody. Brook trout, brown trout, steelhead, salmon, bass, I don't know. Like, everybody will eat an egg. You don't need to overthink it with your flies, with buying or tying. Just get a few different eggs in different colors. Really. Some stone flies, they always work. So we're gonna head upstream. I've walked, I don't know, half a mile up this river now, no fishes, and I have not even seen a fish. When they're in here, you see them. Like, I would see them in here normally, and I see nothing. Like I said, still early. There's all the greenery. Pinks aren't even in here. No, I've never caught a pink or humpy. I've been out here fishing before. I have them swimming between my legs. I know I'm an idiot, but you'd think I would have accidentally caught one, you know, at some point. Nope. I've caught one brook trout in this river. I'm not gonna name this river, but no browns, even though they do run in here. Just kings and a ton of steelhead in here. Steelhead mainly in the spring, but I do catch them in the fall. This is just wild UP, Upper Peninsula, Michigan country here. You wanna go look for some salmon for me? Might be a little tannic, might be a little too tannic, but let me know if there's any salmon down there. Did y'all see anything? I don't think so. I didn't do a very good job. I was nervous. It's like, seriously, this is my only camera. I know I have my phone, but not one video you've seen on my channel has been filmed on my phone. It's only been filmed on this DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. It's all I've used. Once I learned how to use this, I just went with it. It's like, screw it. Alright. And keep heading upstream. Another little hole here. Don't usually do great here. A lot of big boulders, but we gonna give it a try. Well, I went all southern there. Like I stated previously, maybe you saw, maybe you didn't. Start at the back of the hole, start close to you, work your way across, and then start moving up the hole. Start close, work across, move up, close, work across. That way you can hopefully pull fish out at the back. Now with salmon fishing, they're going wherever they want, but you want to try to disturb the hole as little as possible. And this is reality of American nymphing. Is snagging a whole lot and breaking off a whole lot more. This right here, Admiral, the split shot, is what makes it not fly fishing. And probably most real fly fishermen mind anyways. I'm not a real fly fisherman, that's fine. American nympher. What do you need to be an American nympher? Well, you gotta be in America and you gotta be nymphing. I'm just gonna go with 3, couple triple A's and a B, I don't know. You just gotta judge your speed, the water, or the speed of your drift in relation to the speed of the water and the speed of the sink of your fly. There's all sorts of stuff. Like I said, this isn't a 101 class here. This is just introducing y'all. And like I know I mentioned in the previous video, during that virus we had, when everything was shut down, I was driving all over that spring, all over northern Michigan, and just dragging my son with me, and we were steelheading everywhere. And all spring doing that. He's like, "Can we go bass fishing?" I was like, "We're not no dirty bass fishermen, boy. Wait, smack yourself." No, but he wanted to go. Oh, look at that, get snagged right here. He wanted to go bass fishing, so I was like, "All right," and the rest is history. I went out, bought a couple, the Pit Boss and the Cinco, because I watched some videos, or I'd gone once before and knew I needed something, and man, been all downhill after that for my fly fishing. Ever since then, I still hammer them in the spring and everything, but bass fishing's kind of taken over. As you all have seen this year with my tournament fishing, I know you guys can't see my line or really what I'm doing other than my rod, but what I'm doing is flipping it up there. I'm getting tight to those split shot and lowering them down to the bottom, and then I'm adjusting as I go down. As I'm bumping, if I'm bumping bottom too much, I raise it up a little bit just off the bottom so it's going along. You just barely want it ticking across bottom as it's going downstream, but you gotta stay tight to it and you gently lead it. Like I was saying when I was setting up, if I was using fly line and I was shooting way out there, the weight of that fly line sagging would drag it across to me as it's going down, and that wouldn't be natural. I want to keep it in the seam of water for as long as I can for each drift, and that's why this mono is more efficient for this technique, because I can lift it up off the water. It doesn't sag, it doesn't drag it to me, and it maintains its seam of drift for longer and more realistic, because eggs can't swim across current. They just drift with the seams, with the current. So that's the whole point of the mono rig. Getting your egg in the seam and keeping it there. There's a bunch of different techniques and ways to do it. Methods. Some work better than others, some don't. Some situations call for a certain method. If I want to fish, if I can't get over there and I want to fish way over there on the other side, I have to throw a strike indicator on, throw it upstream there and let it drift it down through naturally down that seam. Because if I try to reach that far over and drift it down, even the sag in the mono is going to drag it back to me across the seams, and that's not natural. Especially if I have a non-swimming bug fly on there, that's really unnatural, and the fish know that. Like an egg. Eggs don't swim. All right, next spot. All right, here we are, third hole. I've yet to see a fish, so we're early mo fishies, but nice getting out of the canoe and back on the river, honestly. And I'm just gonna talk to you real quick here while I'm fishing this hole. Oh, the old camper build. Yeah, I'm kind of putting that off. Like, I've been stalling on it. I'm really nervous cutting into the side of that. And I know I do a lot of DIY and mods and everything, but it doesn't mean I'm good at it. And I don't think I'm good at most of it, honestly. Personally, I don't think I am. And so it makes me really nervous cutting into the side of my topper. So anyways, yeah, I've been kind of putting that off. And the weather was just awful. I wasn't going out doing it in the rain and cold. Today's the second nice day we've had in a week. So we're gonna get on that. That's probably the next video or two coming up, hopefully. That was a fish, dang it. Definitely missed one there. It was little, I could tell, but it was a fish. I wasn't ready because I was moving. Got a 3-pounder here. Oh, there it goes. All right, mo fishies, that's gonna wrap it up. No fish, no biggie. I didn't expect any. That wasn't really the purpose of today. Today I just wanted to get back out here on the river, my original passion, and introduce you all to it. Because there's gonna be a lot more of it, honestly, and that was part of the channel rebrand and rename. Even though this is still fishing and veteran angler, it was still applicable. We're gonna do a lot more outdoor stuff. Hunting, like I said, camping, winter camping, just all encompassing. So if you're new to the channel and you found us because of my channel rename from Veteran Angler to Veteran Outdoors, like I said, welcome. And there'll be a lot more of this if that's why you're here. To all my OG Mo fishes, yes, I'm still tournament kayak fishing. I plan on going hammering it hard again next year. It's just northern Michigan and the seasons are changing, and it's salmon and steelhead time, so that's what I'm focusing on now. But stick around, I'm not bailing on the bass, all right? So, as always, you Mo fishies know I appreciate all the time you spend watching my videos. Like I say, the hours, the minutes, and the seconds. I am grateful for every one of them. And until next time, I'll catch you Mo fishies later.